Billionaire Charlie Munger, who was Warren Buffett's right-hand man for decades, is famously quoted as saying, "I don't care what you have to do. If it means walking everywhere and not eating anything that wasn't purchased with a coupon, find a way to get your hands on $100,000. In today's video, I'll show you why your net worth explodes after reaching the $100,000 milestone. Okay, so there's a couple reasons why getting to $100,000 is so important, and the first rule is proportional returns. Why is it so important to get here? The more money you have invested, the more money you will make or potentially lose based on your ROI. This is your return on investment. So let's take a look at two different scenarios where you earn a 7% return. So person A has $10,000 invested, person B has $100,000 invested. This is the number we're trying to get to. If they're both making 7% annually, let's say this is without fees or taxes or anything like that, which we will talk about later in the video, at the end of the year, this person made $700, this person made $7,000. So yes, this seems like common sense, but this is simply because you've managed to get to a $100,000 portfolio. This is a real life example of it takes money to make money in a nutshell. Okay, so the second concept of why is compound growth. So the more money you save, the more inertia your money will have to earn more in the future. This is similar to Warren Buffett's snowball effect. So at first you're catching snowflakes, then you're scooping them up by the handful, then you're turning that snow into snowballs, and then you're rolling that snowball down the hill into something that grows bigger and bigger and bigger. So if you're able to start with $10,000 and save $10,000 per year and earn a 7% annual rate of return, let's stick with that 7% number from the previous example, it would take you roughly 7 years to get to $100,000. So here we have year 0, we have the 10 grand saved. Year 1, year 2, year 7, we have $102,598. So if you're able to keep this going, saving 10 grand a year, earning 7% on your money, you would logically think, hey, to reach 200,000 would take twice that amount of time, right? Well, no, it would actually only take an additional 5 years to get to $200,000. So in year 12, you're actually reaching $201,406. And now if we keep these contributions and 7% annual rate of return going, by the year 2053, assuming you started in 2024, you would have $1,020,730 by only contributing how much? If you want to pause the video and answer down below, I'm going to give you the answer right now. In this entire time frame, you've only contributed $300,000 of your own money. The compound growth, the whole point of number 2, is that it did $710,730 worth of work. So the first 100 grand took you just over 7 years to get to, and the remaining amount to get to 1 million took roughly 23 years. You have to get the snowball rolling in the beginning to let it work for you. So I know $100,000 sounds like a lot, and in some cases, depending on how much you earn, it may seem impossible to get there. Let's break this down into actionable bite-sized steps. Here's a perfect example. So right now, in this scenario, I have us saving $8,000 per year for 10 years at 5% interest. That's a very modest rate of return. You can get that in most high-yield savings accounts right now. So the ending value of this money is getting you to that $100,000. It's $105,654. But here's the beauty of it. If I were to break this down, 76% of this actually came from your contributions. The remaining 24, your money did the work, okay? Your money, the compound interest on this 8 grand over 10 years at 5% actually did 24% of the work. I'm gonna break this down even further on a larger time scale so you can see how actually important this is. So let's take that same $8,000 per year. We're gonna extrapolate that over 33 years, and our rate of return is gonna be 7%, okay? So this is actually a modest rate of return when you look at the S&P 500 over its history. That final balance is going to be over $1 million, but here's where the table flips. You may thought that I haven't changed the circle. I did. I changed just a couple percentage points. 74% of this is actually coming from your compound interest or your earnings every year. 26% of this is actually coming from your contributions. So you can see how powerful this first concept of your money working for you over a long period of time, compounded, which we learned about in the first slide, does for you over the long term. Okay, so step number 2 in how to actually get to the 100K. This is by increasing your income. Yes, this sounds like common sense. However, no matter how great your savings rate is, the more money you make and the more disciplined you are with your money, the faster you can hit your goals, okay? This is just simply getting a bigger shovel to shove shovel more coal onto the fire, give your engine more power. I'm not talking about the athletes that make millions of dollars and go broke. We've all heard those stories. We're nerds here. We're thrivers at NerdWallet. We are going to be disciplined, but we're also going to try and make more money. So how do we do that? So here's 4 tried and true ways that I've seen in my short period on this earth. Higher education. So when I say higher education, I'm not talking about degrees with low ROIs. I'm talking about degrees that have high ROIs. So you need to do your research before you choose this specific higher education. That's typically been STEM, science, technology, engineering, math, potentially medical degrees, finance degrees, things like that. Number 2 are side hustles. Yes, no one wants to do a side hustle. We all already work, long enough every week. However, you're only doing this till you hit 100K. Remember how we started the video with what Charlie Munger said. You got to get to your first 100K. You can stop doing this after you reach your first 100K. Number 3 is job hopping. So we're going to try and avoid lateral moves, but if you change your job every 2-3 years, you can make a significantly more amount of money with either the lateral move or try and work your way up that ladder, whatever that may be for you. And then number 4 is a high value skill. So the marketplace rewards high value skills. I'm not talking about getting some sort of entry level job that anyone can do. I'm talking about separating yourself with something that the marketplace will reward with higher income. Reducing your expenses reasonably, okay? So cutting out a $4 coffee or skipping a $3 drink at a restaurant most likely will not move the needle. I'm talking about strategic moves that actually do move the needle. Remember, we're playing chess, not checkers here at NerdWallet. So number 1 is budgeting. Yes, budgeting sucks. We all know it sucks. It's kind of like going on a diet. No one likes to go on a diet. But what gets measured gets managed, okay? You don't have to become a forensic accountant, but understanding your income versus your expenses will allow you to plug major holes in your spending. Again, we're trying to reduce big expenses and play chess here, not checkers. Number 2 is automation or automating your finances. So when I talk about automating your finances, I'm talking about bills, savings, investing. If you don't see it, you won't spend it. If your money is going automatically to your investment accounts, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, or if it's going to savings accounts, you're not going to want to spend it. If it's just sitting there idly in your checking account, you're going to want to spend it. So if you don't see it, you don't spend it. And then also number 3 right here is cutting out one big line item, okay? So this could be, you eat out a lot. You like luxury goods. You take 3 vacations a year. So why not cut out one luxury purse? Why not cut out, dining out to maybe 1 or 2 times a week instead of 4 to 6, for example? Or if you're taking 2 to 3, big international vacations a year, try and keep it to 1, okay? Remember, we're trying to move the needle with big $1,000+ purchases or things that add up over time. And then finally, we have number 4, which are reducing your taxable liability or taking advantage of tax-advantaged accounts. Legally. If you can't see that, it says legally, okay? I'm not trying to get anyone in trouble here. So Uncle Sam loves your money, okay? We need to take advantage of all the legal ways to keep as much of it as possible. So here's some proven ones that are very simple and that are accessible to a lot of people. Number 1 is we have the Roth IRA. This is the way to grow your earnings tax-free up until the age 59 and a half. Yes, you can take out money before then, but the whole point of the Roth is to let it compound, let it grow to as big as possible, and then you can take it all out without paying taxes on it because you're contributing to a Roth with after-tax money. Number 2 are 401ks. A lot of people watching this video have access to these. This reduces your taxable income for that year, and you may even get an employer match on a certain percentage of your salary or your contributions. Number 3 are 529 plans. If you have a family or loved one or kid or someone who you want to save for their higher education, this can reduce your taxable income depending on your state. You have to check where you live, but the cool thing is you can now convert these into IRAs, okay? So you don't necessarily have to use it all for higher education. And then finally, HSAs. These are a big secret. These are basically triple tax advantage. So an HSA stands for a health savings account, and in a nutshell, these deposits are not only tax deductible, growth is tax deferred, and spending is tax free. So that's just a very nutshell caveat here. I can't explain all that in this video. Please do your own diligence on HSAs, but they're very powerful because they are triple tax advantaged. Okay, so my thoughts, I always end my videos with my thoughts. $100,000, it sounds like an impossible milestone to some of you, but like with anything in life, you stick with it and you're focused and you can get there, okay, I promise you. Think of this as a lifestyle change to improve your overall financial health. This is not just some fad diet that you're gonna quit 3 weeks later. As always, we hope you get value out of this video, but if you practice what we talked about in this video, this is your blueprint to get to $100,000 and watch your net worth explode after that if you stick with it. Please don't forget to share this video with a friend, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.